Tzu Chi volunteers in Tainan hold a reunion banquet for quake survivors on the eve of the Chinese New Year. Tzu Chi establishes an international network of doctors to provide medical services to underserved communities. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Lee. Thank you for joining us. On February 6th at 3:57 a.m., a 6.4 magnitude earthquake rattled Taiwan. Though the epicenter was in southern Taiwan, shockwaves were felt in the north as well. The earthquake affected Tainan most severely, with multiple buildings unable to withstand such strong shocks. As it was so close to the Chinese New Year, many residents were at a loss as to where to go for the traditional reunion dinner families hold on the eve of the Lunar New Year. Knowing how best to help, Tzu Chi volunteers also whipped up delicious vegetarian cuisines and invited disaster survivors to join them for a meal at the Tainan Jingsi Hall. Here at the kitchen in Tainan's Jingsi Hall, Tzu Chi volunteers are busy cooking up a storm.
The soup base has corn, carrots, and mushrooms. That's what makes it sweet.
In a day, we have about 50 volunteers in the morning and around 50 in the afternoon as well. At night, we have about 70, but we take turns.
The volunteers have prepared over 10 vegetarian dishes for their special guests. Picking up Mr. Tsai's family of 7 by car, the volunteers invited his family to join them for a reunion banquet on the eve of the Chinese New Year, as their plans were interrupted by the recent earthquake.
We had a lot of plans for the Chinese New Year, what to eat, where to go, but the earthquake interrupted my mother's plans.
His mother was worried about where to go for a reunion banquet. I told her the local Tzu Chi branch will host a banquet. They are more than welcome. Then their entire family of 7 came.
What could have been a depressing Chinese New Year turned out to be an uplifting one, thanks to the outpouring of love from all corners.
It's fate. I told my son we're very lucky.
We can't cook and didn't know where to go eat. This place is quite heartwarming. The vegetarian dishes are pretty good as well.
In the days to come, the long road to recovery will be so much easier with Tzu Chi by their side. Upon hearing the scope of the earthquake's devastation, not only were Tzu Chi volunteers mobilized to comfort survivors, but Master Tainan also sends her condolences to those who have suffered, as she too suffers when people are suffering. Passing along her empathy, Tzu Chi volunteers delivered letters of condolences and consolation cash to those who were affected.
When I reached the stairway between the 3rd and the 4th floor, stairs below the 3rd floor was gone.
Mr. Wang lived in the collapsed Xingfu building in Tainan's Guiren district. At the time, he went door to door calling for his neighbors, urging them to get out of the building. In total, he brought 10 people out with him. Now the group is staying at the local district office. Thanks to the comfort of the volunteers, his heart has been calmed.
I've felt much love.
Reading out loud Master Tainan's letter of condolence, volunteers pass along the Master's blessings and consolation cash to disaster survivors. Lin Liguan's family, which includes a 16-days-old baby, was among the lucky ones.
I didn't have a jacket, no formula, no diapers. It was the Tzu Chi sister who heard of my situation that purchased all fine for me. I'm really touched.
Volunteers also visited the mortuary to send Master Tainan's blessings. Fang Youwei, who lived in the Weiguan building that crumbled, lost his mother and 2 of his sister's children. Putting on a brave front, he had a few words of farewell to send to his mother.
I believe she is in a better place. The things about me she wanted me to change, I will work to change.
We will continue to follow up with these residents. If they need further assistance, we will send local volunteers to care for them.
Empathizing with the disaster victims who have lost their loved ones, volunteers plan to follow up with these survivors to ensure they know someone out there cares for them. Tzu Chi's support in the aftermath of the deadly earthquake was only not to disaster survivors, but to those at the front lines working against time. Besides the hot food and beverages provided by Tzu Chi, the portable Jingsi folding bed, along with Tzu Chi's eco-friendly blankets, were quite useful. Bringing a few Jingsi folding beds to the resting point near Weiguan building, Tzu Chi volunteers hope to provide the rescue workers a place to sit and rest while they gather their energy for the next search and rescue.
It's very cold, so these blankets are of a real help to us in keeping warm. We are quite grateful that the Tzu Chi brothers and sisters are here. Thanks to your support, we are able to continue our rescue work.
The support station for search and rescue workers in this cold weather is especially important. Tzu Chi volunteers make sure rescue workers have enough hot food, hot tea, and a bed to rest during their shift off from work. At times, volunteers don't forget to sort through the recyclables to ensure the surrounding is kept clean.
We try to categorize the trash from the recycles so that the environment looks cleaner. This way it's more pleasant to the eyes when they come back to rest.
Not forgetting to safeguard the planet while providing care to those affected, Tzu Chi volunteers continue to offer their love and care. In Indonesia, Tzu Chi volunteers recently helped a care recipient who is paralyzed from the waist down clean up her home before the Lunar New Year. By helping 64-year-old Tainan Neo, volunteers have brought a bit of cheer into her life.
Tainan Neo is paralyzed from the waist down. She lives alone and the majority of her days are spent in her bed. Tzu Chi volunteers are determined to help her clean her place before the Lunar New Year.
As we go about the cleaning, it is just like we are practicing the Dharma. As Master Zheng Yan would say, we are speaking through our actions. We should try to manifest the Dharma through every action we make.
As the labor is done, volunteers also take time to lovingly trim Tainan Neo's hair.
We just want to make her feel loved and to let her know Tzu Chi volunteers care for her. In the past, we were let down because we wanted to help her bathe, but she always declined because she was so self-conscious. Even though we may not come often, we will come at least once a month to see her.
You all come to help clean up my place, help cut my hair, and my home doesn't smell anymore. I'm really thankful for you all.
The love and warmth of these volunteers is a gift to Tainan Neo, and the smile that comes from her heart is a priceless gift in return.
Recently, Tzu Chi volunteers in Vietnam's Bien Dong and Tra Vinh provinces each held separate year-end aid distributions for impoverished residents, providing cooking oil, soy sauce, sugar, cereal, and other daily necessities.
One bag of cereal. You can take that home and have it for breakfast. It tastes good and has a lot of nutrients.
Tzu Chi volunteers of Vietnam's Bien Dong province hold their aid distribution event in a spirit of love and respect, as they creatively explain the use of each of the distribution goods.
The feeling you get when you help others kind of feels like you are helping yourself. And actually, for the people here, this is a great help. It's not easy for these people to make ends meet, and most of the recipients are physically disabled. They can really use the help that a group like Tzu Chi can offer.
At another aid distribution in Tra Vinh province, residents are deeply impressed by the high standard of care that Tzu Chi displays when handing out the aid.
I really appreciate the kindness and cheer that you all have given us. You all are always there to help out the old folks. We really are happy to see this.
At the two separate locations, Tzu Chi was able to deliver aid to a total of 827 impoverished households, which will help alleviate their economic burdens for a time. The heart is the engine to our body, and it is constantly working. In order to better protect it, especially in wintertime, we get more tips from Guanshan Tzu Chi Hospital's traditional medicine doctor, Said Yi-Ying, on how to safeguard the heart.
Cover up with a thicker blanket.
Actually, the answer lies in wearing a high-necked sleepwear, as protecting the base of the head is the key to keeping warm during the cold.
When a person catches a cold, it's usually through this area we call the window to human body. I suggest in the winter when people sleep, you can wear collared shirts. As the collar of shirts naturally moves up when one is lying down, and it protects the fengchi point.
One can also protect the back of the heart when sleeping by spreading a blanket on the mattress.
On our back, there are a few of the meridians, and these 2 meridians on the back connect straight to our heart. If we only take care to cover the front of our body while sleeping and not the back, you will feel colder the more you sleep.
The most important way to ward off the cold is keeping the heart warm by covering it up, both front and back.
Your heart resides in the middle here. If the front of your heart is covered up and the back isn't, the cold can still seep through to the body and affect the heart. The best is to wear a vest to protect the front and back of the heart. Sure, but I don't really know how much clothes to wear to keep warm.
No matter how many layers one wears, the most important is the innermost layer.
You must wear thermals to trap heat in your body. It must be tucked in, otherwise your skin will be exposed when it rises up.
By protecting the head and feet from getting cold, one can ensure the heart is not overworked.
When the body is cold, your heart needs to work extra to pump the blood. Wearing clothes helps to reduce the added pressure to your heart. If your body is warm, muscles relax, and blood flowing, then your heart doesn't have to work that hard.
The heart is the body's engine, and as long as one wears the right clothes to protect it, the cold will not be problematic for the heart. After our previous in-depth report on Tzu Chi's free medical clinics domestically, we will now take a look at TIMA's global medical services. Since its establishment in 1996, TIMA now has chapters in 24 countries, working to provide medical care to underserved communities. In today's Tzu Chi 50th anniversary series, we look at how and why this international medical network was established.
This global medical network, which began in Taiwan, has expanded to other countries in Asia, the Americas, Europe, and Oceania. In Malaysia, the Muslim medical professionals pray before they depart for the airport. While in Nepal, this doctor is leaving Kathmandu for a trip that will help him do more for his hometown. In the Philippines, the medical professionals have packed uniforms in their carry-on baggage. They're among the hundreds of medical professionals from more than 20 countries who are heading to Taiwan to attend the annual TIMA convention. Among the TIMA chapters, the youngest one is the one newly established in Nepal.
Making the people believe, okay, I can give the treatment, I can cure you. So that can only be given by love and care. So I think I want to expand this thema in Nepal so that we can cure not only the disease but also the heart.
Back in 1993, Tzu Chi collaborated with the doctors of the world to rebuild clinics in Ethiopia. Later in 1994, with civil unrest in Rwanda, the two organizations worked together once more to set up medical stations there, providing 24-hour medical services. These international medical outreach experiences led to a meeting of Tzu Chi doctors in Hawaii in 1998 regarding the establishment of a medical association.
In the first meeting, we discussed how we can share experiences in different regions. The second time, we held a convention in Los Angeles. After that, we hold conventions in Taiwan.
After the meetings, in October of the same year, Master Zheng Yan named the association Tzu Chi International Medical Association. It brings medical professionals worldwide to commit themselves to reaching the areas in need of medical assistance and provide medical services in addition to medicines and equipment. In 2006, in the aftermath of the Jakarta earthquake in Indonesia, TIMA members from Taiwan and Singapore traveled to Jakarta. Hanging an IV bottle on a banana tree, they completed the first surgery in disaster area in the history of Tzu Chi's International Disaster Relief Mission.
每一个地方的文化，它的法令，它的
The regulations and cultures are different in every place, so we need to adapt to the environment and develop our specialties. What remains the same is our love, care, and respect.
共同点还是一样，那一份爱心，那一份关怀，那一份尊重。
Crossing national boundaries, religious and ethnic differences, TIMA members turned their commitment into actions. Besides healing the sick in their home countries, TIMA members also travel to different places in times of international disasters to deliver much-needed medical assistance.
Been able to reach out to Myanmar in Southeast Asia, as well as help AIDS patients and provide free clinics in South Africa. This is conducive to our international medical assistance program and foreign diplomacy.
To further Tzu Chi's medical mission by reaching more people in need, TIMA works like a super large hospital, providing medical services wherever they're needed with the vision of curing illness and healing the heart.
Next, we meet a Tzu Chi care recipient who has learned to face hardships in life with optimism after Tzu Chi volunteers walked into her life. Ms. Hu has to take care of her hospitalized husband while suffering financial difficulties. Thankfully, Tzu Chi volunteers have provided her with financial assistance and, more importantly, spiritual support.
Patting her husband's hand, Tzu Chi care recipient Ms. Hu is now able to face the hardship in life. Ms. Hu lives in Kaohsiung, works in a laundry shop after her husband fell ill. When her husband went through a surgery in October of 2014, her employer sought Tzu Chi's assistance on her behalf.
I read about how you provide emergency aid to families in Tzu Chi Monthly. When a Tzu Chi sister came to collect donations, I asked if she could help her.
Tzu Chi volunteers visit Ms. Hu's husband at the hospital besides providing financial assistance. They also encourage her to read Tzu Chi Monthly to ease her worry.
My actions in my past life led to my current life. I need to face life willingly and pay back. If I don't, I will need to pay more.
With a change of mindset, Ms. Hu has broadened her life and views. She has also joined the rank of volunteers, doing her share to help others in need.
In our next report, we meet a Tzu Chi volunteer in China who gambled to escape from the reality after her husband's passing. It wasn't until volunteers invited her to join a study group in 2009 that she was able to quit her bad habits.
while the volunteers are busy moving rice for a winter distribution in Quanzhou, Fujian. This female volunteer is busy cleaning up the site at one corner at the distribution.
Everyone can give to help the folks in town.
She is 76-year-old Shi Xiulian. Her husband died when she was 52 years old. Feeling lonely, she lost herself in playing mahjong. It didn't change until 2009 after she joined a Tzu Chi's study group.
10多年要卖3块咯啦，我从04年到这要卖3块。这上运动会啊。
啊是环保站回收的
是啊，环保站的回收的啊。
啊，上个打包位啊。
老岁啊，凊彩穿的适服啊，你袂晓你钱哪唔只人讲。喂，我是采取来客嘞，我来客环保咯。
Shi Xiulian knows she is blessed, so she cherishes it and creates more. She goes to the market every morning to pick up recyclables and to bring home the leftover foods that aren't sold.
I always bring home these leftovers, so I never have to buy food. These are edible still after I wash them. They make me full, and I have a good stomach.
Shi has been recycling for 6 years. Her son and daughter-in-law have also changed their attitudes about it.
My mother-in-law is very old, but she is healthy from doing recycling. It makes us feel at ease as we have our own business, so we don't have time to care for her. Since she likes doing it, we support her too.
Her family now supports her doing recycling. Sometimes they will also go to the recycling station with her to help.
Before I turned 64 years old, I lived for my descendants as they were still young, so I had to work for them. Now they're adults, so I help the public. Learning Buddhism is my wish. I love to help. At Xinhua National Forest Arboretum in Tainan, strawberries are grown pesticide-free using upright pillars in a greenhouse. This technique can be used to create a private garden in a small space like an apartment balcony.
这样只能种1棵嘛，对不对？对。那你这样子，我这样一路上来，48棵。
Growing plants in this upright method can maximize space and increase yields. It also decreases concerns over pollutants in the soil.
If we were using the traditional method, around 9,000 plants will fit into about 231.4 square meters. But with this method, we may have 18,000 plants. I will need 2,910 more square meters of area to grow the amount with the traditional method.
Xinhua National Forest Arboretum's greenhouses can regulate temperatures and keep out pests, which eliminates the need for pesticides. Normally, all that is necessary is to spray some organic liquid fertilizer. This saves manpower and water.
The amount of water we use is very low, nearly a tenth of what traditional method would use.
Every day I play music for the plants. If the leaves dry up, I will prune them off. I always tell them to grow quickly and tell them they're doing great.
If gardening is practiced in a positive atmosphere, we can all benefit greatly from the results. This method of upright gardening can also be adapted to private homes and balconies. Anyone can learn to garden and practice cultivating life in a positive way.
As residents conclude their celebration of the Chinese New Year, many started the Year of the Monkey by volunteering their efforts in the quake-torn area of Tainan alongside Tzu Chi volunteers. We will leave you with these images at the end of the program. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.